Hey there, my name's Morgan Hatt and you're watching BC Missions. It's a channel where we like to promote Christian ministries, resources, and opportunities for believers to grow in Christ and expand the family. I'm going to start off today's lesson with a question. How many of you have ever heard an adult say to a child they needed to watch their mouth, or it was going to get washed out with some soap and water? Now, depending on when you grew up and where you grew up, this may or may not have been a figurative sentence when you were growing up. Today's lesson is going to be all about James chapter 3, where the Bible tells us the power of our words and, more importantly, the destruction our mouth can cause without us even trying to. I'm excited because today I've recruited a little bit of help for the object lesson part. I've got a little buddy coming. His name is Jackson, and he's going to help us see a little bit of the results of our mouth if we're not careful what we say. So stick around. Alright, before Jackson gets here, we're going to take a look at the Bible verses that today's lesson is all about. Like I said before, it's found in James chapter 3. The main verse we're going to look at is verse 8, although we will talk about some other verses that are here. So let's get right into it. But the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison. I love the fact that the Bible leaves no doubt as to how bad this is. It says, no man can tame the tongue, and it compares it to a deadly poison. So there's no doubting the destruction that we can do with it. Unruly evil just means it's wild. There's no telling what's going to happen. Now let's skip down a little bit further, and it's going to tell us why this is so bad. Verse 10, out of the same mouth proceedeth blessing and cursing. My brethren, that's saying other Christians, these things ought not so to be. So this should never be happening. So put this in context. It's saying you're going to church on Sunday, you're praising the Lord, blessing Him for everything He's given you, and then a mile down the road you're driving back home and someone slams on their brakes and you just start cussing up a storm. You get angry, stuff starts coming out. The Bible is saying very clearly that that should not be happening. The idea is it's more than just the hypocrisy of it, really. We're going to go back, and with Jackson, we're going to see the visual consequences of our words when we're not careful with them. Let's meet up with Jackson. Hey Jackson, thanks for coming. Hop up in here real quick. Good to go?
Yes.
All right. Thanks for coming. I appreciate your help today. This is definitely something I can't really do by myself. You ready?
Yes.
All right, let's get started. All right, we got a little bit of a competition today.
Okay.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to see who can get the most amount of toothpaste on their plate in 5 seconds. No cheating. You can't go before, you can't go after. You have 5 seconds to get as much toothpaste as you can on your plate.
Okay.
Are you ready? Okay. Open it up. Don't start. On your mark. Get set. Only 5 seconds. Ready? Mark. Get set. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You win. You sure about that? Here, let's flatten them out. Flatten them out. What do you think? That's pretty close. I say you put all yours in one spot. I try to spin mine around a little bit. Okay, I've got a confession to make. This was not the actual competition. The real competition is to see who can get the most amount of toothpaste back into the bottle. You weren't ready for that, were you? Probably wouldn't have squeezed as much out if you knew that's what was going to happen, would you? Okay, let's see. Let's see who can get the most back in. How's it working for you? You gotten any back in? Yeah, me neither. You make it a good sized mess?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so I'm going to fill you in on what today's lesson is now. Now that we've done the toothpaste mess and I'm a little bit glad we did paper plates so we can throw this away nice and easy. Today's lesson was actually about James chapter 3. So what do we normally use toothpaste for?
Brushing our teeth.
Brushing our teeth. Good thing or bad thing?
Good thing.
It's a good thing, right? What would you say about this mess that's in front of us? Good thing or bad thing?
Bad thing.
Bad thing. We made a whole lot of mess in about how many seconds?
5.
5 seconds. All right, let me show you the verse real quick. Today's verse is James chapter 3, verse 5. Even so the tongue is a little member, and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. A lot of big words there. What do you think that verse is trying to tell us?
That the tongue is evil.
Yeah. What made you think that?
At the end it says, fire kindleth, so.
Yeah. Fire can be very bad, right? A little bit of fire can cause a lot of destruction, right? So when I look at it, when I think about it, this illustration that you helped me do, it doesn't take very long for us to say stuff that can get us into a lot of trouble, right? 5 seconds to make this big mess. Can we ever fix it? Can we ever get it back in the tube? No. It's kind of like our words. If we say something mean, can we really ever get that back? Okay, so here's what we look at. We got this big old mess in front of us. There's nothing we can change, right? What do you think the Bible's trying to warn us about our tongue?
That we shouldn't say bad things with it. We should use it for good, not for evil.
Very good. Simple lesson. Got to be careful with how we use what God's given us, just like we have to be careful how we use our tongue, right? All right. What do you think we should do with the toothpaste?